Hi there, it's Sarah from Inspired Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Let's see what message Spirit has for us. The Ace of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the King of Swords. Yeah, with the Three of Cups, it's about people supporting each other in a group and being happy and just providing emotional support for each other. And the King of Swords card talks about the King of Swords speaks his truth. So when the King of Swords card comes up, it's just a reminder to be very discerning and to be very authentic and speak our truth in a group. That's the most loving thing we can do whenever we're in a group, is to let people know what we think and how we feel. And then it brings anything up, anything that's unloving or confused, it lets it come up into awareness, and then it can be addressed. And it can be addressed in a way where we don't put the blame on someone else for if we feel discomfort. We just share how it is that we're feeling, and we just discuss it, and we let everybody take responsibility for their own emotions. So yeah, this can be something that takes a lot of practice, especially when in our childhood we've been made responsible for other people's emotions, or told, you know, it's your fault that you make me feel this way. Then we grow up feeling as though it's our responsibility to make people feel happy. But the Spirit has always given us opportunities to correct that belief and see that everybody's emotions are their own responsibility. And the Fool is a card about being very sort of carefree and trusting the process, trusting that whatever the Spirit brings to us in whatever form, it's for our highest good. And if it is a situation where it's a group activity, then quite often we can be thrown in at the deep end a little bit, especially if we're feeling like we want to avoid social situations or relationships. Then the Spirit may put us into a situation where we don't really know what it's for, but we can trust that the Spirit knows it's for our highest good, and trust that we can handle whatever it is that the Spirit brings us. So the Fool is all about just kind of trusting and being unattached and open-minded, and allowing ourselves to take risks and explore the options that come up with whatever situation the Spirit brings for us. The Lovers. So yeah, it may be that a love relationship is brought in, or some sort of intimate connection or bond with somebody where you get the opportunity to share your heart. For example, in a dyad situation in the community that I'm in, they do dyads where one person talks for 5 minutes and the other person doesn't speak, they just listen, and then you switch, and every 5 minutes you switch. So it gives you the opportunity to share without being judged or without anybody interrupting. And it's a really good process, actually. And the other person keeps their facial expression just kind of very still. So there's no judgment, and you don't get too... If there's a part of you that wants to look to the other person for reassurance, you don't get it. It's very much, they just hold space for you in a very neutral way. So that kind of forces us then to look at whatever it is in the mind. And that can be uncomfortable. It certainly was for me to start with, but it's helpful. It is helpful because it puts it back on yourself, which is what we need. The Devil. Yeah, the Devil is all the things about ourselves that we don't like, or things about other people that we don't like. For example, when we judge a lot. So Jesus says, judge not. And I think that's probably one of the most important teachings I've ever come across. And it's such a simple little thing. It's like every time a judgment comes up in the mind, you say no to it. If it's not loving and it's not kind and it's not true, then you just say no to it over and over. It doesn't require any... It's actually easier to say no to a judgment than it is to let it run, because it will just create chaos. So yeah, whenever we're interacting with other people, we really need to watch the mind and watch for its stories and its judgments. So not only are we saying no to whatever that nonsense it's saying, we can also use that for for guiding us about the kind of things that we need to look at, especially if we have an emotional reaction to something the ego says. If it's to do with jealousy or competition or feeling unworthy, it's always something for us to look at in the mind, always. The Tower. So the Tower card is all about unexpected change. It could be that we're in a group and we think things are going well, and then all of a sudden it seems as though someone's turned on us. But really that would just be a reflection of where we've turned the quantum field against ourselves, because other people can't really be against us. And actually quite often when we think someone's against us, they're actually just showing us a part of ourselves where we're creating them to be against us, or we're not loving and accepting ourselves. So sometimes the Tower is where an old concept needs to collapse and we need to look at it. Believing that there's an external power when there isn't. And the Four of Wands is all about celebration. And we can celebrate whenever we go through these breakthroughs. Every time we have a Tower moment, it's just an opportunity to realign and to level up, which can feel like a massive celebration, really. Whenever you're on your spiritual path, any kind of breakthrough like this is very exciting and definitely worth celebrating. I certainly love it when I make breakthroughs with things, because it can feel quite hard won at times, especially with cycles and things that we've been stuck in for a long time. The Emperor and the Sun. So the Emperor kind of relates to being very empowered and stable and secure in ourselves, and being very principled with the way that we conduct ourselves around others, and that understand that we're always doing our best and that we need to be firm but fair and handle conflict in a mature way. And the Emperor is very good at that. And the Sun card, yeah, it's just a card of benevolence and radiance and joy and gratitude for this process, because at the end of the day, God didn't choose to put us in this world in bodies, but he did give us the kingdom of heaven, and it's up to us to have gratitude and expand back to that perspective. And the Sun shows us that we can do that. We can have breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And I think the Sun is a really wonderful symbol of just the light and the benevolence and the ability to recharge and renew. The sun goes down and comes back up every day, and our mind can do that constantly. So we always get to choose again. So that was an interesting reading. I hope it helps. Love you. Bye.